In this video, I'm going to talk about professional mobile video workflows, especially when you're using phones to create content for corporate clients. I want to work you through how I do it, because I think a lot of people, think that I just show up with my phone and nothing else, just go around and take shots. That is far from the truth. It's much harder than that, but it's far more worth it when you put the time in to planning, filming, and editing. Let's show you how. So the first step is always to plan. With this, I have a planning call with my client. Now, part of everything I do is teaching people new skills and teaching people video production. So with every client, we open up the video content roadmap and I run through some things with them, like the strategy of the video, why they're creating it, who it's for, where it's going, and how they'll measure success. And then I will skip straight to the script and shot list. I will get them to complete this themselves with my help. So after training, they'll know this is what they want person A to say, and they'll write in exactly what they want person A to say, and then they'll put in shot of person A speaking to camera, and then cutaways of whatever it might be. If the topic is transportation, I'll go out afterwards and get shots of different transportation. If the topic is about the event, I'll go and stay at the event afterwards and get shots of the event, and I'll get them to estimate the number of seconds it will take. This avoids me asking open-ended questions to people and having to sift through loads of footage in the edit. Usually as well, people do work better off a teleprompter. The majority of people anyway that I work with, they prefer to be able to read exactly what they want to say. Now I'll get them to read it so many times that they're very confident and appear very natural saying it, but at least they just have those 4 or 5 sentences that hit the point, they hit the mark every time, and it saves so much time in the edit. So the client will then actually send me the script and shot list, the finalized one, the night before. They'll book me in for a half day of filming. They'll organize everything. They'll organize the locations, the people, the props, anything that we need. I'll just organize all of the technical stuff. So I arrive with the scripts then loaded onto a second phone with a teleprompter. So I'm using 2 phones to basically do most of my work. So I've just created a kind of scene downstairs to show you some of the things that I do behind the scenes in the setup. So the first thing that I would suggest is to dress all in black, dress like a ninja, so that you cannot be seen and you're just kind of there in the background. I have a large tripod. My tripod is cheap, but it's over 6 foot so that I can get at eye level with anyone. I have a clamp on top and a ball head, almost like a neck, so that if I need to point down a bit or point up a bit, I have a lot of versatility. Then once I have that set up, I will add in my phone and try and compose the shot and see what the lighting is like. Then after all that, I will get my second phone on a stand. Now you can see here the difference between a tripod and a stand. A tripod has 3 legs and a stand has 1. Tripod is great for filming something outside that you need it to be extremely steady, and a stand will actually move in the wind, but it doesn't matter when it's the teleprompter. It just doesn't take up a lot of space, and I don't want to be carrying around 2 tripods with me. Then I will get my audio gear. I'm using the Rode Wireless Go Twin Pack. All of my equipment is available to view at thevidacademy.com/equipment with links to purchase on amazon.co.uk. These are just the job. They are absolutely brilliant. And what I do as well is I purchase a smart lavalier as well by Rode, so that I can actually not have the microphones seen in the shot. Like, I don't really want to be attaching this to someone and it to be like right there. I just feel like in my mind it ruins the shot. So what I do is I get a lavalier. Sometimes you need adapters for these as well. Again, all on the site. There's just a difference between what goes into phones and what goes into more professional standard gear. So I can instead clip this into the top of the mic, put the lavalier onto me, disguise the cable, and then hide the mic behind my back. And it's just really simple, and you can trust that the audio is good. On this, what I have is an adapter that allows me to split out so that I can hear what's being said and record into the camera as well. So I will do a few tests, make sure that I can hear the sound and that everything's going well. And then another thing that I bring with me is a light. I will always use natural light where possible. So place the person facing the window and kind of be at the window while I'm filming. But I tend to bring a light or two just in case that's not working out or I can't get the look that I want, with a battery pack so that I don't need to rely on being close to a plug. Again, mobile video should be as mobile as we can possibly make it. So this is one of my solutions there. And I'll just try and like light the back of my head with that and see how it turns out. So now I'm just framing the shot, getting the composition right, doing some audio tests. And now I can go over, press play on the teleprompter and start saying my piece to camera. So this is what it would look like if I was to film in the native phone camera. It looks good. I kind of like the look of it. But the native camera, or the camera that's built into your phone, just doesn't give you access to all of the amazing features that the phone actually has. This app is called Filmic Pro. It's extraordinary. It costs around, I think it's like 30 quid for the year on a subscription basis, but it is so worth it if you're into professional videography. So I can set to record in 4K at 25 frames per second. I can change that, of course. And then I can press this button here and actually change from natural to log. Now, if you don't know what log is, basically it is getting it more information into the shot of the highlights and the lowlights. So if something is really bright and something is really dark, like the normal camera will just kind of crush those down so that there isn't a lot of detail and instead add a lot of colour. But what Filmic Pro does is it kind of takes out the colour part of it, instead swaps in information for brightness and darkness, gives you a much larger range of brightness and darkness to record in, and then you can add the colour back in post-production. And that allows you to kind of add different variations of colours or a look that you can actually put on your videos, which I just love to be able to do, especially for corporate clients, rather than all that information kind of baked into the video. Like, I know you might be used to kind of filters and stuff like that, but filters in my head are really just kind of like overlays that kind of reduce the quality of the video. This is a completely different thing. Now I'll make sure that the audio is set to headset microphone, just in case it's switched to a different microphone. I want to be sure, and then I'll check it and tap on the mic a few times and make sure that that's going through. I'll move the brightness and the focus reticles to the center because that's where I'll be standing, and then I will make sure that the light is right and I'll get into position and I will do my piece to camera. I spend about 1 hour filming presenters because it takes a bit more time. You know, you really want to spend the time on making sure that they're giving the best take they can possibly give. And also, you know, with a lot of corporate clients, they're actually leaving their job for like, you know, an hour of a day, and it's something unusual for them. So it's quite enjoyable for them to do. And sometimes they can be nervous. So you kind of have to take more time to, you know, make sure that they're feeling not nervous, get to know them a little bit, because they have to kind of develop trust with you in order to give their best performance or piece to camera. And then usually I will record the presenters first and then go and get the cutaways or the additional footage that I'm going to add to what they're saying afterwards. Now it's time for the magic, which is the edit. And never underestimate how much time the edit can take. So when I get home, I will immediately transfer all of my files onto a hard drive. So I will airdrop, because I'm using iPhone and MacBook Pro, I can just airdrop or Bluetooth transfer wirelessly the files from my phone to my computer. And then I will usually create folders and keep them as organized as possible. So for example, here, these are some of my videos of the past. I'll have an Adobe folder for my Premiere Pro project. I'll have a footage folder for my different phones, and then I'll have music, and exports is where my final file will live, so that when I'm searching for something, I can go into the folder of the event that I'm looking for, and at the final, at the end of that, then there's exports, and that's usually what I need to go and look for in like a year's time or whatever. So once I have the footage backed up, then I will bring it all into Premiere Pro. Premiere Pro is a professional editing app and it is wonderful. So I will get my footage and I will drop it in there, and I will find the file, or like this one, the part where I'm actually doing my piece to camera, because whatever file I drag into the main timeline, that is going to adjust the settings of this sequence in here. So I'll just drag and drop that in there. I'll change sequence settings, and now that will match my sequence settings fully. What I do, and some people might disagree with this, but I film everything in 4K, but I edit in HD. So I will go up to sequence, click on sequence settings, and change this to 1920 by 1080. Click OK. Now, what this gives me is 2 shots for the price of 1, or the ability to recompose the shot in post. So I will go to effect controls. I'll move this down a little bit, move it over, and I've just got like full control in the edit of where I want myself to be positioned. I can frame things out. I can frame things back in. You know, if someone's conscious over their stomach, for example, I can frame that out and just make them bigger on the screen. It really helps me so much. I love doing things this way. Now, as you can see, it's very bland. The color isn't there. So this is the part that I just love the very most. If you go into effects, now, unfortunately, this doesn't come as part of the Premiere Pro package, and it's a add-on that you need to purchase separately. As far as I remember, it was €130, but that's forever. And in my opinion, it is so worth it. It's called Cinematch. I will drag and drop the Cinematch onto this, and then within there, I will choose the camera that I used to film. I used Apple iPhone 13 Pro. It was a 14, but maybe I can update that actually. And it even has Filmic Log V3. Apply. So now that's the camera I've shot in. And now it's like, what's your target camera? Choose any of these bad boys here. So let's go for a red. Let's go for a red 1, and let's go for that color and click apply. Now, the next thing that you want to do is go down and hit on apply Rec 7 transformation. So this is the shot without Cinematch. This is the shot with Cinematch. And just for comparison's sake, let's get the iPhone. Let's get the native camera, and we can see the difference here. Like, I mean, you know, that just looks phony. Whereas this looks like it might have been shot professionally. And just for argument's sake, let's change to the Canon 1DC. This is the look here. Now, I'm only scratching the surface of Cinematch, and there is so much more in here that a lot of you will actually love to work with. I use an app called Teleprompter by Norton 5 because I love how it squashes the text right next to the lens instead of filling the entire screen and making it really obvious that you're reading. After that, then I will usually add some B-roll or cutaways. I'll bring in some music, usually from YouTube Audio Library, because if someone's speaking, like, it doesn't have to be the most amazing song in the world, it just needs an inspirational beat. Usually I will bring in any graphics that the client requests from their script and shot list, and they'll usually send me the logos and everything in advance. And I will add subtitles using Premiere's auto subtitle feature, which is just in text here, transcript, and then you can add captions using that. And I can also change them to match the font and the brand identity of the client that I'm working with. And then when I'm finished, I'll export, and I'll usually deliver within 24 hours. When I first started making videos, it was like 2 weeks before I delivered draft 1, and I probably have like major anxiety attacks between when like the first draft and when I delivered, and oh my god, it was just, you know, crazy. So I find that this workflow reduces loads of ambiguities. Like, it just takes out the ambiguity from everything and just makes the client have realistic expectations of what they'll be delivered, because they're the producer, director, essentially. I'm just the person kind of pressing the buttons and moving the blocks into place for them, making things look and sound nice. But like, you know, it's their video, and I don't want to take that away from them. I want to empower them. And then after that, I'll deliver, and then we will have a quick discussion about things that we can improve for next time. And then hopefully you've got a returning client or a retainer that you're able to go out and make videos for. So I hope that helps, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos. And also, I'm always looking for ideas on what to make videos about. So please send me, or put it in the comments, of different videos that you'd like me to make, and I'll add them to my content calendar. And yeah, I'll see you again.